60 million to less than 1,000 in just 100 years. This is the story of Earth's biggest massacre, when an entire species was weaponized in a war. The American bison, the majestic creature that was once the soul of North America, today has returned from the brink of extinction. But this return, this survival, has come at a terrible price. In the 1500s, when European settlers first arrived in North America, they witnessed a sight beyond their imagination. More than 60 million American bison, from the Great Plains to the Rocky Mountains, spread like a living, breathing carpet. These weren't just animals. They were North America's largest land mammals. An adult bison could weigh up to 2,000 pounds. For Native Americans, bison weren't just a food source. They were the foundation of their entire civilization. Every part of the bison was used: meat for food, hide for clothes and shelter, bones for tools, and horns for ceremonies. The Plains Indians' entire calendar revolved around bison migration. This wasn't just hunting, it was a spiritual relationship. Bison herds were so large that when they migrated, the ground would shake. Trains had to stop for hours until the herd crossed. Early settlers wrote that bison herds were so large that from horizon to horizon, only brown fur was visible. Counting was impossible. Bison were the keystone species of North America's ecosystem. Their grazing kept grasslands healthy. Their movement spread seeds. These creatures could survive extreme weather. Even in -40-degree winters, they survived thanks to their thick fur and fat layer. But this strength, these numbers, this resilience, all failed against one calculated plan. The mid-1800s, the American Civil War had ended, and now the U.S. government's focus was on Western expansion. But there was one problem: the Plains Indians, and their survival was fully dependent on bison. General Sherman openly said, "Kill every buffalo you can. Every dead buffalo is an Indian gone." This wasn't genocide. This was weaponized extinction. Bison were targeted to force Native Americans into reservations. In the 1870s began the Great Slaughter. Professional buffalo hunters were hired. They were paid per hide. A professional hunter could kill over 100 bison per day. The most famous hunter, Buffalo Bill, claimed he killed 4,000 bison in just 18 months. Railroads ran special hunting trains. Passengers would shoot bison from the train for sport. Bodies were left where they fell. Only the hide and tongue were taken. Everything else was left to rot. Mountains of bones were later collected to make fertilizer. 1870, 5 to 6 million bison. 1880, only a few hundred thousand. 1889, less than 1,000. 19 years. In just 19 years, from 60 million to less than 1,000. This was the fastest large mammal population collapse in human history. When Plains Indians saw their food source disappearing, they had no choice: starvation or reservations. The government's plan was successful. Bison extinction effectively ended Native American resistance. But some people realized this was wrong. Conservationists warned that this species would become completely extinct. In 1889, only 85 wild bison remained, and they were in Yellowstone National Park. All others were gone. This was the moment when American bison were officially declared functionally extinct. The population was so low that their role in the ecosystem had ended. But here begins an unexpected story, a second chance that very few species receive. In the early 1900s, conservationists started captive breeding programs. Every single surviving bison was precious. Theodore Roosevelt, a passionate conservationist, founded the American Bison Society and officially protected Yellowstone. Slowly, painfully slowly, numbers began to increase. 1910, 2,000 bison. 1930, 10,000. 1950, 30,000. Today, in 2024, There are approximately 500,000 bison in North America. But here's the twist. Most of them are on private ranches, commercially raised for meat. Only 30,000 are in wild conservation herds. And genetically, many bison are no longer pure. They were bred with cattle. Pure wild bison may only number around 15,000. So, did the American bison survive? Yes. But is it the same species that existed 200 years ago? No. Their wild range has decreased by 99%. They can no longer roam free as they once did. They are managed populations, not truly wild. Native American tribes are now restoring some herds on their ancestral lands. For them, this isn't just conservation, it's cultural healing. This story reminds us that extinction is permanent. But the American bison showed us that with intervention, dedication, and time, recovery is possible. But we must also remember that what is lost never fully returns. Their wild spirit, their freedom, their original role, everything has changed. The American bison story is both a warning and a hope. A warning of how quickly we can destroy a species, and hope that if we truly try, we can bring some species back from the brink of extinction. If you want to hear more stories of extinct species, species that survived, and those that didn't, then please subscribe to our channel. Every extinct species has its own unique story. Some went extinct from natural causes, and many, unfortunately, because of humans. We will explore these stories, honor the lives of these species, and importantly, learn from them. Because as long as we remember the past, we can avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. So press that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and join us on this journey where we'll remember the world's extinct species, the American bison, a species that returned from the brink of extinction. Their story is not over.